Welcome back, everyone. This is the Spawn Point Championship Series 3. We're bringing you the first week of matches. This is day 2 of Eternal Week. Yesterday, Monday, we had Eternal Beat Drop Bears versus Nemesis. Today, we have Eternal Fury versus Joey Esports. Two teams that are expecting to make it all the way to champ bracket from what they've told me. We'll see, get a first look at these two teams here today, expecting to be an amazing matchup for us.
And take a look at Joey. Notable names here with Koi, Cry, who have played the last two series. Swifters is known from training, so is Try. A big name returning to the scene. I think he's been gone for like a couple years or more. Is Asdo. If you know, you know. He was a monster in DPS back, and he was back in the olden days of Trank, is when he played last. That's the last time I saw him. So he's making his valiant return to the scene now.
Yeah, it's a strong roster here for Joey Esports. A lot of old names, but also Eternal Fury coming out with a really strong roster as well. Grind and RMM on support, Ronin and Zevris on DPS, and Shinji on tank. Really strong roster. They told me, I asked them some questions beforehand, and they told me that their expectations is first or nothing. Everyone else is competing for second place this series in intermediate tier. So very strong fighting words from Eternal Fury. We'll see if they're going to be able to back it up in this first match. We expect it to be a really tough matchup for both these teams.
Yeah. Anything but first is failure for them is what they basically said. And I can see that Ronin was my teammate in BPL in past season, and we placed second. And Ronin, he didn't consider it. He considered it a failure, even though because we lost to the same team 3 times in a row. But going into our first map is going to be Lijiang Tower, and I believe the bans have already been locked through. I believe Eternal Fury has banned Genji, and Joey has banned Kiri.
Yes, that is correct.
So those two at the table I think you're going to see. Well, I know for a fact Eternal Fury really loves to set tempo. I won't be surprised if Grind pulls Mora out, and Try is known to be a really good Mora player from past seasons and past times where if you've seen him in ranked, if you see him no Mora just in the backline on ranked, name Try, it's probably him in GM or where he is now.
Yeah, we'll see what we end up seeing on Monday. We saw a little bit of Lucio Moira comp from our rookie tier teams. We might see the same, maybe some Juno Brig, maybe some other interesting looks without that Kiri involved.
Is Wu Yang enabled?
Wu Yang is enabled. Wu Yang is playable, so maybe we see some Wu Yang comps as well. It's going to be very interesting here to get our first look of the season.
I know there are some teams experimenting with Wu Yang currently.
Yeah, I mean, new character, right? Always want to try and
Korea has been trying. Contrary to belief, he actually does have a pretty good amount of sustain with his Guardian Wave, because it acts as an anti-nade. That acts as like an on-nade for his allies and knockbacks, and he's kind of hard to kill just because of his mobility. If he has his rushing torrent available, it's really hard to chase him down.
Yeah, that double wave perk combined with a movement that's a little bit similar to Juno's.
I'm not even gonna look at what Joey's on right now.
My gosh.
They're trolling. They're 100%. The only troll I don't think is a troll is Cry on Juno.
5, 4.
There we go. Okay, so They're going to be pulling a Wu Yang Brig comp out.
This is Zarya?
Zarya actually has become more prevalent just because the three strongest heroes she counters right now, which is Queen, Diva, and Orisa. Shinji opting to go with the Ramattra pick here, which Ramattra did get nerfed, so he's not as strong as he was before, but Eternal Fury, they have to set tempo. They don't really have long sustain over the course of a long fight here because of the fact that they're running a Moira.
They're looking to try and get a little bit of step up before they use that amp speed to rush onto the core of Joey Esports, but that Junkrat poke is very hard, and they're currently stuck on that coast side of the point. The slow goes down, Ramattra using that Nemesis form, trying to find someone to knock down, and the Zarya gets a nade onto and extremely low. All the healing resource for Joey Esports going into that Zarya, able to keep Null alive, and he finds a pick in the back too with that ultimate fire. Big pick from Swifters as well, 2-3 down. That's the fight win for Joey Esports already.
Yeah, Zarya is probably the most strongest she's been in a very long time, and that's not even just because she's good right now. It's not even because she like got buffed or anything. It's just the fact that her competition, she kind of runs over them. But at least Eternal Fury, they have to be playing a bit faster than they are right now, just because that over a long
really
fight,
strong.
they
Look,
can't
Try's already at an ultimate. Try's all the way at an ultimate, and he uses it on that Zarya, and Grind goes down on the Moira. No heals left. Joey Esports gonna get another fight win really fast here. Null goes down, gonna be sad to lose that Zarya charge, but they should have enough picks to win this fight here. Just the Cassidy left on the side of Joey Esports.
Yeah, Ronan did take out 2, so Koi did have his charge reset. Now, Joey is sitting on 4 ultimates basically. Fury is it's going to be all fight no matter what here, as both teams are sitting basically on 4. RMM is lagging behind a little bit on the sound barrier just because of how fast that team wipe went.
This tire could be a really good opening here, and the tire is opted to be used first. Trying to find a pick with that tire, but Zevris is in the back on the Vector trying to eliminate the Junkrat, is not able to get the dash through. Not enough to get the pick. It's a really, really good collapse from Swifters on that Junkrat, also paired with Cry kind of pocketing a bit in that back line, and they pick up another fight when you're getting close to last fight of this point here.
Yeah, I think this is where this is where I was a little bit concerned. Fury is like a tank. What you want with a tank player, I believe, is like is flexibility to play multiple different things and into multiple different looks and like see, okay, this isn't working, I should probably switch off. And that's Koi, I think, actually has a better hero pool than Pop-Tart. But Pop-Tart, he manages to knock down 2, but Fury do manage to win this fight, but it cost them both supportos just to get through.
Yeah, it's big. And once again, Try has that Wu Yang ultimate. Did wonders in that second fight, opening up map for them, putting it onto Null on that Zarya. See if they can manufacture that again here, but Shinji Pop-Tart has that Ramatra ultimate, could be able to sustain some sort of aggro push here. You see the Wu Yang ultimate put out onto the Tracer instead this time, not able to find any value. But look at this, Ramatra's 1 in the back, Mega's already taken, falls down. Zevris finds a trade though on the Tracer. They can stay here for a little bit, but it's gonna be tough with that Zarya presence still on lock. Low-ish charge for Null here, but all of this this point capture here is good for Eternal Fury, using the high noon to try and stall out a bit. The cap goes the other way though, not getting any benefit right now. But Ramatra is sped back. They're back in this fight, and Swifters goes down.
Yeah, RMM booped. I think Swifters used Conquer at the same time RMM booped them, so he just got sent sky high, and that's an easy shot for Owen to pick off now. The Deadeye does zone them back and allows them to get by some more space, but Shinji went a little too far with that annihilation.
There's a good recognition on the push pull though. Back out, regroup a little bit, you can get some space. You're getting capped that whole time. Oh.
A little Tracer 1v1.
Oh,
okay,
the
Zevris commits it. Aston
to get the
kills him! No. Okay, we're good. We're back. We're back. Shinji's stuck in the trap currently right now. Cole left his out from Cry, trying to keep him up. Rally up from Cry. Just to push him forward. Try has another ultimate up at this point. This should probably most likely be going Joey Esports' way, as that little one on the side from Zev. Yeah,
RMM has a beat here. They might be able to sustain with the ball, but the Junkrat tire kills Zevris. That's a lot of point presence gone here for Eternal Fury, and that grab on top with Try's ultimate should be able to steal this. 2 supports, 1 support left on the point. That is point number 1 for Joey Esports here on Lijiang Tower.
I was gonna say a close one too. I think it just came down to that little diff right there from Asdo onto Zevris, and Zevris coming pulse bomb like in an attempt to kill him off. And I honestly just think if you're Eternal Fury, I know Pop-Tart has a Zarya on him. Why they're not playing Zarya or opting to take a mirror where then you're more on even footing is a little bit confusing, because I think in the current state, Ramatra always used to beat Zarya just because he could sustain better. He doesn't really do that anymore with the nerf to his armor and block and everything going on, as yep, we're going to see Shinji go over to a Winston.
Winston pick here should be able to do a little bit better, but Swifter's already on a Reaper. A little bit of a tank busting here, especially onto that Winston. We'll see how it plays out. Looking to just position on this pillar here, a little bit on the go to room. People are getting low. And interesting pickoff. Gives Eternal Fury the advantage here, but there are some members that are low. Asdo finds the differential on Zevris again, and Ronan gets another pick as well. It's trades all around here. Shinji extremely low on this Winston. No beaming him down, trying to get this pick, but is adept with the jump and staying out of trouble. Looks like the point cap is going to go to Eternal Fury here, see if they can regroup fully before they lead any more picks out.
Yeah, and you see everybody on Eternal Fury solo. Cry gets cut on the side by Zevris, so the wave doesn't connect with her in time. Zev gets traded out by Asno here, and now Koi is high charging on the point, and Eternal Fury's health bar still have not recovered yet. As finally Grind gets a Colossus online, but Swifters takes him out!
RMM has to beat, hopefully is not a panic use of that ultimate, no, opting to just take that fight loss, and Eternal Fury had the point that whole time. You know, you lose, you trading a Miracle for a Wu Yang ultimate. Okay, last map we saw Wu Yang ultimate charges faster, but we'll see, maybe it's a bit more competitive in the tank matchup, maybe that'll help Grind kind of even out that ult economy differential between the Zarya and Wu Yang.
Yeah, beat
aggro beat is used. Counter grab is big with that Reaper ultimate, finds both supports and Ronin. That's exactly what Joey Esports needed. They're going to extend towards a lead here with that. It's a heavy ultimate usage. It's a big win con for them.
Yeah, and I think this is where you're seeing the value of that carry ban from Joey Esports come out here, as they don't want to deal with the carry, they don't want to deal with all the sufferingness that she has, and it's showing to be paying off. As it was a good idea from RMM, but they had to have tracked that they were around the side. As they're going into this fight, null drops to have to feet. Pokemon from Asda doesn't find anything. Rally comes up from Try. Cody does manage to take down Ronin, and the rest of the downloads falls. Eternal Fury, they're just getting stuck on the bridge. As soon as Shinji commits, the rest of Joey say, okay, you're back there. We're just going to walk on your core.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's really only the Tracer and the Winston that can jump in, and we're seeing the swap back to the Venture and Ramatra from last point, trying to walk through this left side instead. As we'll see if they can deal with the strong poke that gave them so much trouble last time. That Wu Yang poke does a lot of damage with the control orb. And Wu Yang has the ultimate again here, outpacing the Moira again. As the tempo is pushed here, Wu Yang ultimate used, does not find any value. Ramatra form swinging on Brig, getting low, but the pick on Swifters comes out. Can Shinji stay alive? No. Boy is able to beam down that Ramatra and find Ronin on top of it. This fight is going in the favor of Joey Esports, but this Coalescence in the backline is doing quite a bit here. Can they find the pick on Wu Yang as well?
No, Cole I think just took himself with a secondary fire shot. Zevris stays alive long enough. He actually gets punched too. Grind stays alive long enough to keep Zev up, and Zev clutches at the last moment. As it looked like Joey had that, but Cry goes down to the Coalescence. Try dies as well. Koi, I think, secondary fired a wall and killed himself that way, or jumped off the map somehow. And then the rest, and then only Joey only has 2 DPS. And there's a big move from Zevr. It's off the Koi, and he had grab.
That's giving you much more time to build up this Lucio beat. If Joey Esports was able to take that fight with that grab, no Lucio beat online, that surely was going to be a fight win for Joey. Now they're in a little bit more of a dicey position. Ramatra ult's going to be online. They have that Venture ult as well. And that Lucio beat 80-85%. It's getting close. We'll see if anything can find, if either team can find a break here, as it's getting close to second to last fight as well. All the ults are pushed. Wu Yang, Ramatra ult out, grab out, post bomb in, gets 2. Asdo with a clutch play, try finding another on top. It is a 3v2 here in favor of Joey Esports. And Asdo and Cry popping the Brig rally as well, looking to seal the deal here on Lijiang Tower. They're gonna get this point flip. Maybe there's enough time for a touch here from the Tracer.
Yes,
Sim TP on point,
Sim gets that TP out. But there's a blossom. Rarum just barely gets the beat up. Cry actually drops a little bit low. Swifters too, but now they're getting healed back up. But
also Miracle lessons. If they can stay alive, it could be good for them here.
Fairy is causing chaos on the point, and there you go, Shinji rolling around. Swifters drops to 1. Swifters down low. Asto finds RMM. Grind super close to his Coalescence. Gets it online, but Zev goes down.
The coalescence is a
Zephyrs
little
goes
bit too
down.
late.
Cold is too late. Shinji's still alive here. Ronin is good for... Grind's good for one. Shinji's good for another. Shinji is still alive on the point. Grind is still around too. But you have to deal with this wounding at some point. There goes Shinji goes down. Grind gets stuck by the pulse bomb. All of them out the window, and that should do it.
That's map 1 to Joey Esports. Very, very close on this last point here. Incredible clutches from both sides, from Tracer, from support players, from everyone. Really, I think this could go the distance here if I dare say so.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, there's what happened to Null right there. Okay, I was wondering what happened to him. But I honestly think that I know for a fact, knowing Ronin, knowing Pop-Tart, I know for a fact that those two, they do play. Ronin really likes to play Reaper at times, and Shinji does a Bazaar on him. I don't know why you're trying to I don't know why you're trying to force something that's not working realistically.
Yeah.
Into a comp that's kind of dominating you in the neutral. All of Eternal Fury's fight wins usually came off of like a heroic play from like Zeverest or Grind or Pop-Tart. Like it really wasn't clean from them. It looked like they never actually had a really clean fight, in my opinion. The only like the one fight where they didn't lose anybody was because Zeverest drill dashed Null off the map.
That is true. That is true. It's looking to be an interesting series so far. We'll see if Eternal Fury is able to adapt. One of the things that they told me is that they have said that they're proficient on a lot of comps. They're tending towards brawl and poke comps, but they're pretty good at everything. So maybe they'll have what it takes to kind of find a solution to what Joey Esports is putting out.
I think you have to have adaptability in like the current meta too. Like if you can't be afraid to mirror match, and you can't be afraid to realize this isn't working before it's too late. And I can't like Fury, like they brought it back on both points, but it was because it was awful like massive alt committal or heroic plays, and sometimes that can only take you so far. Like if Fury want to go all the way and take the first place, they got to clean this up, because right now what I'm seeing right now is they're not looking comfortable, and they also are forcing. They're kind of like what I like to say is, if stuff doesn't work, it's basically the equivalent of bashing your head into a brick wall.
That is true. Do you have any thoughts on what map they might opt to go to here?
I have to look at I do not remember.
Esports?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the pool. Give me 1 second. I know
Prod got us on log.
Okay, Prod got us.
There we go.
Alright, so it is Fury's pick, and I think they can pick any of them. I don't know if there's a set order that they have to pick.
They do not have to pick in order.
So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they. I wouldn't be surprised if like if they want to play into more Pop-Tart strength. I would say go Circuit or Junkertown, something like that, because the Pop-Tart can play Sigma. But if they pick something more brawly like Atlas, New Junk, Saravasa, or even Runasapi or Caliseo, I would say ban the Zarya if that's giving you the most issue, especially if you're not confident in taking a mirror, because Zarya is actually pretty dominant right now, especially in the hands of somebody who knows how to do ball management, knows how to get charged reliably, and knows not to feed when you're high energy, because that's like that downfall of a lot of Zarya players sometimes is they are bright and glowing, they see a giant 100 indicator and they're like, I can do whatever I want now. Oh wait, I don't have any bubbles left.
Yeah, it's a mental trap that you can fall into on Zarya.
So the bans have come through already. I'm not sure what map Fury picked, but Fury has banned out Freya and Joey has banned Hazard.
Interesting. Freya ban. I don't know how much that I don't know how much
really know if Freya's being played
that.
I don't know how much Freya's being played that much anyway.
Depends on the map. I think it can be good on some of the longer range maps, maybe.
The Freya ban from Fury kind of indicates that they went with either a payload or a hybrid.
Yes.
Not sure which map they picked yet.
It would be funny if they went Parizo. It would be really funny. Dorado, there we go.
They
It is a
picked
high ground
Dorado.
map. I was thinking in the right direction.
Okay, so this district, the hazard band makes sense. The Freya band makes sense, and the hazard band makes sense. The hazard band makes sense from Joey, because I know for a fact Null hates that hero.
No, it makes perfect sense for Dorado, right? And you know, maybe that
Hazard
means
is
we're
pretty
gonna
dominant.
see.
But
Maybe that means we're gonna see Winston with Hazard out of the picture. Maybe.
we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see Shinji on Winston and Null on Diva, because he was. I love the guy. He's really chill to be around. He don't have a Winston on him.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. No Winston player in the lobby for Joey.
Pop-Tart has a Winston on him. Null is what you would call a white boy Winston. And not in a good way.
He's not Korean. He's not Korean for real.
He's not like me. He's not like me.
As we'll see. We'll see what ends up getting played here for Dorado. I think the more interesting question, aside from the tanks, is going to be what's going to be the DPS to be played here.
I think you're gonna see like them
No
really lean into I think it's gonna be Cast Tracer from the side of Fury or it's gonna be Cast Ash most likely from Fury if they're defending.
Yeah, I was thinking around the same way with Ash Tracer.
Or not Cast Ash, Tracer Ash, because then Zev, and then you might see I think I meant just probably gonna be like Kiri Lu or Ana something like that as Eternal Fury. Okay, the banners are backwards. So Eternal Fury is Joey Esports, and Joey Esports is Eternal Fury. Just revert. The banners are on the wrong side. Okay, there we go. We're good. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. that makes more sense now. So Eternal Fury is showing on Wu Yang backline, and Joey Esports showing their Wu Yang Brig. I honestly don't know how much value Wu Yang Brig is going to get on this vertical map. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, the Wu Yang poke should still be good here with the
Wu Yang poke should still be good here. I'm just more concerned about
the wave angles are going to be bad in terms
the wave
of
angles. The wave angles are going to be bad, and they can be blocked out. I think they can be blocked by shields. I don't think they go through shields. I'm not entirely sure.
I think they do go through shields, but I'm more worried about the kind of high ground, low ground split, and then the hard.
I just think honestly, I know Wu Yang does he has really good signal target sustain, but I feel like if Eternal Fury can ISO Cry or Asdo, Try is gonna have a hell of a time keeping them both up. Or even Koi, to be fair.
Yeah, I think in essence this kind of comp from Joey Esports is similar in a way to...
Oh my god.
We're back to Monday. Constant pause, guys.
Okay, the constant pause was, I think, because Nemesis's flex support kept DCing. This pause is because the coach for Eternal Fury is not on the right side in spec.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coach for that side of Eternal Fury did not get swapped spec color, so he can currently see Joey's stuff right now.
It's the NA lobby, guys. You have tech issues you got to get through at the beginning. Start stream a bit late.
This is why Korea's a better region. They never have this shit.
I mean, that's the character. That's the character of playing in NA, isn't it? That's the personality.
I mean, there's a reason when Prod screws up, and no matter what region it is, they call it NA Prod because NA is the region that has it the most happen to them.
You see, NA production, NA stream, NA lobby, everything has...
Week 1, am I right, guys? Yeah, I mean,
Esports in NA has a distinct character, and this is what it is.
I feel like every time I hear Eternal Week, I feel like it's just one of those things that your high school does to try to be cool, but it's more cringe than cool.
It's the eternal week of tech issues.
Eternal week of tech issues, and speaking of Eternal, one of Eternal Sisters teams, Eternal Surge, did get blown out by Time Lost 3-0.
We won't talk about that. We'll focus on the match at hand here, the Eternal at hand.
Yeah,
Eternal Fury walking out with that
nearly got
Winston
one
comp.
tap by Swifters there.
The Winston comp as predicted. Diva comp as predicted for Joey Esports, and Null already finding a pick onto
nice
Ronin.
nade.
Big anti-nade. Can they secure? Yes, Asdo goes down. Even out here for both sides, with Shinji kind of diving in the back line, trying to bring some space, allow for the cart to push.
And
Swifters
got stuck on a wall. Swifters got stuck on a wall there. Now the entirety of Joey has to try to get out of there. Fury is on a Kiri auto setup. I know they like to do this type of setup. I kind of allows them to play a little more aggressive because your support line isn't really stacking on each other. Your on is like playing back and your Kiri is like on an off angle. Easy, can teleport out, can teleport to the Winston on the dive. Realistically, the side of Joey doesn't really have a big dive threat outside like Null going in. And
Shinji gets immediately low, but Ronin finds the pick onto Swifters, trying to secure that kill, unable to. And Zevris is in the back here with the pulse bomb. No stick on the pulse bomb, but Null gets extremely low.
He's stuck Null.
He's stuck Null.
Asdo takes down 3 in the process. Cry cleans up RMM, and yes, your Diva is out of mech currently, but you can see trying to find grind. Grind goes down to 1 HP. That if that water orb was a little bit more charged, I think I would have killed him. But Eternal Fury, they're coming up on ultimates. They have both support ults here, and they do have the Primal Rage to work with too, coming up from Shinji. Joey on their side, both support ults and a Deadeye up as currently Eternal Fury is doing a pretty good job of not allowing Null to get any like poke damage in to get his mech back. As I say that, Shinji taking crap from him, and that he should get ended up taking out, but I still find RMM, and I think Nano came out onto RMM to try to save him. Shrine finds 2 out of nowhere as well as Joey Esports clean up that fight. It did cost them 2 ultimates, but Eternal Fury committed their Nano boost, I think, onto I think RMM got nanoed and then immediately just died to the Deadeye anyway.
I mean, this constant kind of pressure from the cast combined with the high damage burst from the Liang is causing a lot of problems here for Eternal Fury's dive. Pulse Bomb goes wide here, and the Kitsune Rush is used. Ronin is able to find Swifters. That's an opening that Eternal Fury needed. Bubble onto the backline. Cry finds Zevris, but Asdo goes down. The savior for Joey Esports is down. We'll see if Eternal Fury can try and secure the rest of the picks here. They find Cry. Only Try left for supports on Joey Esports. Taking a lot of damage. The fight should go the way of Eternal Fury if the mech can get cracked. Yes, mech is down. Tracer is back, but it should be picks going in the way of Eternal Fury as we see Ronin getting that pick on his Cry.
Yeah, Ronin finds a cold pick. Asdo is still around here. Unfortunately, his Nerf Blaster is no match for Ronin's Blazing Sunsetter in the duel. As Cry did go to Lucio, I think, just to try to touch back on the Brig, and Eternal Fury, they get their time bank extended, but if you're a Joey, you did have a pretty good chokehold on that. Now you're running down the barrel of, I was going to say 2 ults as Ronin has decided to pull out his signature Soldier 76 pick.
Could be alright, you know, try and...
Oh shit, Shinji just snipes Try across the map. That was a long shot, Tesla can.
Yeah, Brig caught sleeping for Joey Esports. Gonna cause a lot of problems for their high ground hold, having to back up down to this mega packed room. Giving Eternal Fury a lot of big pulse bomb eat and the pick from Asdo. Cart's still gonna move here, but it's gonna slow down the ability for Eternal Fury to hold close here.
Yeah, you see, Shinji goes up and almost actually does get taken down. Running on the off angle doing a lot of damage, but Eternal Fury loses their tank. Zevris does take out Swifters, and Ronin's still poking out. I believe I was trying to side as Asdo is just looking for a target, but Nola's keeping Zevris honest on the payload, so they're not getting free push. But Ronin's still on that off angle, kind of forcing Joey into a pinch, especially when Shinji's back. Shinji does come back, he's up on the high ground. As another big anti-nade out from the side of Eternal Fury, but Koi finds Shinji and Asdo finds Zevris, and that should signal for retreat from Eternal Fury.
Yeah, I don't think Eternal Fury is able to put enough pressure onto Koi here to be able to really properly walk up and can try and get some pressure frontline, right? They're trying to get a little bit of distraction with this off-angle Kiri Soldier, but it's not really working out. They're not finding the value that they needed to. We see Shinji jump in, misplaced bubble, but is able to live. Still, no, all the pressure. Zevris low as well. Double supportals for Eternal Fury. Surely they can try and make something work here. Maybe with the fight on low ground as it seems to be developing. Nano in as it jumps away. It's not what you wanted. Hopefully there's some value that can be made.
Rally Bash misses. The Rally Bash misses from Cry, and Azo gets taken down as a result. Swifter does find a trade on the Ryan. Kiri rushes out from RMM. Primal Rage out from Shinji. Combines with Zevris to find Cry. Cry is the only support left alive on the side of Joey. Koi does manages to trade out RMM, and here comes the visor from Road on the off angle. Does find Cry, but Swifter trades him up fast. All alone, and Novak gets traded out. And almost a nice shot from Asno, nearly one taps Zevris, but it's just him and Swifter's sticking around. No, over to the Wrecking Ball, I think, to try to touch here, as Eternal Fury, they only have the Pulse One to work with, and Zevris almost goes down. No, let's come back. Zevris goes down to Cry, and that should signal disaster. Shinji does manage to find Esto off of that damage from running on the off angle, but they have to keep somebody on this payload to keep the overtime timer alive. No, so far Ronin just uncontested in the high ground, just helping the side of Joey with damage, but Koi finds both supports with the help of Swifters, and that should signal the end of Eternal Fury's attack as Shinji falls, and Ronin should be the last one to go, and Joey do hold under the bridge of second point.
Eternal Fury was never able to get a clean fight win. Every time they ended up winning a fight, they got picked at the end, 1 or 2, just making it difficult to keep pushing this cart with momentum. It's something that Joey Esports told me going into this. They said they described their playstyle as team deathmatch. And that's kind of what we're seeing in the breakdown of these fights here. They're just able to find 1 or 2 picks that makes it difficult for the enemy team to take space going forward after that fight win.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a little bit of first match jitters coming in from both sides, because both sides have made mistakes. But Eternal Fury, they usually have a pretty dominant scrim. I know they're scrimming up like in the 4.2K range. So a little uncharacteristic of them, but it just doesn't seem like they're on the same page with each other at times. And another pause is called. I do not know which side it is, but as a person said earlier, brought up that graphic earlier, week 1, am I right?
Yeah, we're getting word that it's an auto pause,
So somebody on one of the sides has DC'd. So back. One of the players has DC'd. This is just week 1. It's not even NA prod this time. It's just the servers being boo, and Try is the one who has DC.
Yeah, blame Try. Blame Try. Blame Try. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Joey Esports is really having kind of the better, as you said, both teams dealing with a little bit of first match jitters, but I think Joey Esports clearly has more of a grasp on the nature of this match, being able to hold their nerve a bit better in these moments. Maybe that speaks to just the vast amount of experience they have on their roster, competing in SPCS and Tranquility and all the other tournaments.
I think Try is a 3-time champion. Cry has won before as well. Asto, I think, has won 1 or 2, and I think Swifters is a 2 or 3-time champion as well.
Yeah.
The only person on this roster that actually doesn't have a championship as a player is Null, as far as I know. I think he's won a different tournament outside of Trank and SPCS, but I can't remember what it was. He technically did win last season with Sirens, as he was the coach for my team, but I still don't really count that because he wasn't playing.
Yeah. He did say past 2 seasons he played with Cry, they lost the season in a map 7. So maybe 3rd time's the charm between Null and Cry. Maybe this is the season that they get that chip for Null as a player. As we'll get back into it here. Same comps, roughly same comps. But Asdo on Torb for this.
I don't think he's gonna roll out Tor, but I think he's gonna probably come out Cassidy again.
You don't know. You never
But
know.
you never know. But Eternal Fury is showing more of a traditional dive with the on a breakback line. Joey kind of showing that Joey's showing that they have this Wu Yang break setup down pretty well, and it is giving Eternal Fury some problems.
Stop the payload.
Yeah, I really liked the Wu Yang brig. I think it's a very good combo. Synergizes quite well, especially if you can get a lot of procs of that Inspire from the brig, can really supplement a lot of the time that Wu Yang has only with the single target healing. We see Null on this D.Va stepping up, trying to push the card a little bit past this first corner, trying to get to the second corner for the Tracer to contest this. We see Flight up to high ground, trying to just contest a little bit, posture around, but Shinji's able to collapse on Asdo in the back line as Ronin is shooting out onto Swifters on the Tracer, and it's going to be a reset here for Joey Esports. A little bit of progress made, and Ronin trying again?
Ronin finds out Swifters early again, and we'll see. I feel like attacking as a D.Va is a little tougher than defending as a D.Va because the Winston has to jump into you can easily counter dive him. You have to take the initiative on attack here, which allows Shinji just to say, okay, I can just drop on your backline, there's really not much you can do. And so, yeah, especially first point is such a weird shape for, it's like such a weird area because like it's just a giant wide open spaces. Asdo has gone over to Sojourn here, nearly gets taken down by a combo of Zevras, Ronin, and Shinji. Manages to duck, does manage to duck into cover, and now Swifters and Zevras duking it out on the mini pack, but Rarman has come to surprise a little support and does force Swifters out. Zevras and Rarman give chase and they actually manage to kill him, and now Shinji, he's looking up on the high ground, he has to see 3 up there as Null is doing a good job forcing him. Asdo does eventually find Swifters out, but I don't think that's gonna really deter Eternal Fury that much. Shinji does trade on to Asdo, but has to turn and get the heck out of there. Which does allow Joey to get a little bit of space here, but Null is a little bit worse for where he does drop down to card, but Eternal Fury are sitting on a giant ultimate bankrupt.
Yeah, right at the beginning of that, Swifters was able to push the card under that bridge, which really gives Joey Esports a kind of better position with that card being so far advanced. But the dive can still come in here from Eternal Fury, diving in with that Winston ultimate, trying to just displace the backline, and they got Swifters again, isolating the Tracer and hunting them down. Usually that should give the core from Joey Esports a little bit of time to try and make a move onto the frozen backline, but not the case here. Brig rally, double support views for Joey Esports, trying to find this fight win now, able to get Ronin, able to get the Brig, yes! Brig has got, it should be the fight win here with those 2 picks. D.Va Bomb on top for celebration, and there might be a contest here, but I don't think it's going to be possible.
No contest there for Eternal Fury, as a little bit of an overcommit from Eternal Fury to try to find kills, and now running back over to the Soldier, which didn't really work that well last time. And we'll see these 2 teams sending it. See Joey, they do get a kind of early high ground. Shinji already up there, gets moved back, full bubble forced out. Pulse Bomb finds RMF early. Swifters for once not being the first one to fall as RMF just is okay in chat. I guess pinged him, as I think he probably thought that was stuck onto his shield. But Eternal Fury, they are doing a good job of holding Joey back, as Null's health bar still has not really recovered here. Shinji doing a pretty good job of just keeping him back, as they're on the low ground looking for a little bit of a railgun charge. Does put a shot into Ronin. Ronin does duck back, but Shinji in the meantime has managed to find Koi's back, but he trades his life for it, and that should allow Joey to get the cart pushing even more with not only a tank presence. RMM has to be the next one most likely to touch with this rally before Shinji gets back. But Zevras says, I'm not losing this time. Rally out from RMM, takes down Koi before he can get mech back in. Though it was looking bad at the very start for Eternal Fury, they do manage to stabilize. Zevras on a rampage, finding 3. RMM does steal the 4th, but that should signal Eternal Fury do manage to stabilize despite losing their tank first very early in that fight.
Yeah, I think with the onus on Joey Esports to kind of move forward through the main and push the cart, it was working out quite well for Ronin on this off angle on the Soldier. A little bit freer to kind of do what he wants, not as much pressure to kind of lay stuff down on the front line as Zevris finds.
I want to know how many times Swifters has died. I want to know how many times Swifters has actually died. Zevris going up to try almost actually does take him out with that shot. Wave out to try to force him back. That does force Zev back, but the rest of Joey are in retreat. Try manages to find a pick on Ronin. That should help them move up a little bit here, especially since Try does have this Tidal Blast ultimate to put onto his Diva. OCL from Asdo, big Pulse Bomb does stick. Pulse Bomb I think did stick to Cry, but she on the shield, but she managed to drop it. Ult forced on. Try has to use the ult on himself just to escape that nano. Winston. Grind does find Cry. Null does manage to trade out Grind, but Shinji still has his problem range on the point. Ronan has attack visor. Null looking worse for wear. 97 to that bomb, can't get it up online. 60 seconds remaining on the clock, and Eternal Fury so far have had a pretty good hold on the second point.
Yeah, Zevris looking much better on the defensive side with this Tracer, getting the better of Swifters a lot here. And we got some ultimates to work here with Eternal Fury. 40 seconds left, it's gonna be last fight, and Zevris is getting hunted now. All the attention's on him. They realize the carry is that Tracer. You see full push through left side, trying to make some space. No pressure on card just yet. So,
Asdo starts the fight off here. Zevris taken down early. Ronin still doesn't have attack visor. Shinji does have this problem rage. Nice sleep dart across the map. Will slow them down a little bit. Attack visor up from Ronin, but so far away. It's being most of that eaten up by Null. RMM still close to this rally. Has to stay alive. Problem rage out from Shinji onto the point. Eel bomb forced from Null. Won't find any picks, but it will buy some spaces. Shinji is a little bit alert. We're on the point. Zevris almost taken out again by a railgun shot from Asda, but now he's getting hunted. Swifters with his pulse bomb. Sticks it up. Finds RMM, who is rallying. That was the pick that they needed. Zevris low in the back. Asda moving up here. Finds Shinji. Swifters finds Ronin. And try to find Zevris. And that was a very good defense from Eternal Fury. Another unfortunate pulse bomb from Swifters on the RMM. Shuts down the only ult that they had. And that will be Joey Esports going up 2-0 and going to match point here, as Ronan himself told me in a VC or before the season started that this was one of the teams that he wanted to face sometime during the season. And I mean, he's getting his wish, but currently his team's kind of getting his team, though that was close on their defense, it really wasn't that much. They really shook on their attack. I'm pretty sure that's where they fell short there.
Yeah, it's tough for Zevris. Was doing so well in that defense, and just in that last fight overextends a little bit, gets hunted down, and starts the cascade of picks that goes in the favor of Joey Esports in that last fight. It's unfortunate for Eternal Fury. Definitely a possibility of a hold there on that second point. Doesn't pan out, as Joey Esports looking like the real deal here. You know, Zevris got the Tracer differential a few times. You know, I was told to look out for Swifter's deaths being the most in the entire lobby, and I think we might have saw that on that last map.
He had to have that. I'll probably ask Null later how many deaths he had on that map, because I felt like off the top of my head it was probably well over 50. It was probably like at least 15.
Yeah.
But now Joey goes up to match point here, and it is Eternal Fury's map pick again. So we'll see where they go. That was Escort, so we'll see if production can be so nice to pull the map pull up again for us.
I mean, we got the Brawl Look map 1 from
the dive look.
Joey got the dive look map 2, right? So it's got to be a poke look map 3, right?
I would assume that we're probably either going to a push map, or I feel like the way that Eternal Fury is playing right now is they're kind of like create chaos. And what better mode to create chaotic fights than Flashpoint? I feel like that's where they could start to pick up some speed. And as I said, that is the map selection from Eternal Fury, as they have selected New Junk City.
New Junk City. Gonna go to Flashpoint. I don't know about
the rework. The rework of the map actually itself is pretty nice, in my opinion. It's better than it was before, because then there's more routes to attack points, which was a big downside. I think in New Junk City itself was there's one route of attack on a lot of points, and then you can just easily chokehold a team in a choke. Blizzard actually did a good job of like making it so there's multiple routes of attack on most points now. So it's not just one area you have to force through, or a team can just hold you there. So it's a very nice rework, and they're one of the points I love the redesign on. I think it's called Bomb Flats. I'm not entirely sure, but it was the one that had the massive high ground. There's one high ground which they kept, and there's one that was facing off to the side on the other side. They completely got rid of that and dropped it down. So now it's not really a disadvantage for, and they added more cover there, so you can push to that area. There's more flank routes on that point now, so it's not just whoever has high ground usually wins it now. It's a little easier to get in and access that main high ground.
Yeah, I like the way that they did the new Saravasa, new Junk City, but I don't know if this is a good map pick for Eternal.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like if we're gonna see Zarya again, unless Eternal Fury decided to ban that, I feel like in the current state, especially with, I feel like in the current state of the game, if you're going to have a 5-man roster, you have to have a tank player that can play everything under the sun at a really good level. Because when the meta shifts, what I feel like a tank player in this game should be, if they're solo tanking on a roster, like they're the only tank on the roster, there's no relief for them, is you can't be target bannable and you have to be flexible. Like if you are target bannable, that teams will figure that out real fast. And you have to be flexible. You can't just be stagnant. You can't be. And another thing is, you can't say, I don't want to play this hero, not because they're not good, because I just don't like to play them. I.e., why do a lot of players just not want to play Orisa? She's good. She's boring, I get it, but if she's good and if she's good and leads to wins, play her. I'm just saying, this is kind of pointed at Null. He said I caved in last season and played Malga. Malga was meta at the time. I did what I had to do to win. Something that maybe you should do.
Ooh. Scathing words. Scathing words. And we've only seen one tank ban so far, right? That Hazard on the last map. So other than that, it's been 2 DPS and a Kiriko. I think banning, if you're Eternal, right? Maybe the thought process was like, okay, go kind of brawl map, ban Zarya. Since that Zarya was such a problem with the Wu Yang.
I know Pop-Tart has a queen on him. Like, there are certain heroes I know Pop-Tart can play that he just hasn't shown yet. And yeah, as Fury, they elect to ban Zarya. So taking that hero away from it all. But I feel like this duel of the tanks is Pop-Tart versus Null. They both have their weaknesses. They both have their strengths. Null has a pretty good knowledge of the game, pretty good macro wise, and knows how the game works pretty well, and was really good at microing his teammates and stuff like that. But Null is like one of those tank players where I feel like his weakness is he just doesn't want to play certain heroes because he just doesn't like them, and it doesn't matter if they're meta, he won't play them.
I mean, it is what it is, right? It
is what it is. I mean, there's workarounds around it. There's workarounds around it. We're not the pro level, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying that's Lucio, that. And now Joey Esports respond with a Lucio ban. So this basically says they're taking away Lucio from RMM, which RMM mainly likes to play Lucio, and I think they're gonna be to open more. I think they're basically just gonna stick to their Wu Yang Brig setup. What tank they're going to run with it is a question. I won't be surprised if we see like a Diva or a Queen from Null, especially with Zarya off the board. But I won't be surprised if we see a Queen from Pop-Tart. But I'm most likely seeing Pop-Tart running Ramatra, even though I think Ramatra is weaker than Orisa right now. I feel like I just feel like I get it. Orisa's boring, you guys, but if she's meta and she's what wins you games, suck it up and play the darn hero.
I mean, this would be a kind of, you don't have, I guess you have Juno possibility, right? But you don't have you have Juno speed instead of Lucio speed. Maybe you can still make a kind of Orisa brawl comp work with that Juno break. That's
I think you could run Brig Wu Ying with Orisa because Orisa can actually sustain really well, and Tidal Blast and Terra Surge is a devastating combo.
Yeah, it is a good combo. I would like
Tidal
to
Blast
see...
Tidal Blast onto basically anything that's like really mobile that can get in without dying is pretty good. So that's why you see it thrown onto like a Tracer, a Genji. Tidal Blast Blade is probably the best DPS combo for winning, and I would say Tidal Blast Rampage or Tidal Blast Terra Surge are probably like the best combos for alt-wise for winning and tanks.
Yeah, I mean, if Eternal Fury wants to reverse sweep this map, right, they gotta find the solution to this kind of Wu Yang setup now or next week. They're not gonna get the win this week if they can't find it now. So this is their kind of potentially last stand here on New Jump City. See if they can find some sort of solution to this Wu Yang as we're going into the map here. Do you favor the outside points or the indoor points here for potential Orisa comp?
Indoor, just because it's a little bit closer quarters. You know, you can run down people, spear them into a wall. The outside point's a little bit weaker for Orisa just because there's more flank angles to poker, you know, all that stuff. Joey Esports showing a queen comp right now with Wu Yang and Kiri, which is another combo that you can run with Wu Yang that's actually pretty strong. Eternal Fury showing Wu Yang and Kiri as well, but with a Ramatra instead of a Queen. I think Queen is probably Queen's a pretty strong hero right now, especially with the rampant charge perk. I did a bunch of playtesting with that perk, and yes, it does override pretty much any stun except for EMP, hack. It doesn't override walls, and like if it's a neutral knockdown like overrun, it doesn't override that. As Tri already finds Everest out, and that's not the start that you want if you're Eternal Fury. Shinji has his form force really early. Roland does trade pretty fast onto Swifters, and now Asdo in the back trying to find Grind. Grind falling super low. Shinji doesn't have the Nemesis one fall back on. Slow out on the Null. Null taking a bunch of damage. Suzu too late from Cry, and that should open the door for Eternal Fury to take this point, as it was looking pretty good with Try finding that very early pick on the Zevers immediately, but then Eternal Fury turn around and they find the Swifters and Null immediately after that.
Yeah, that slow onto the Junker Queen finds a lot of value in diverting attention away from the Squisher heroes being pressured. Now we're seeing a little bit of a reverse scenario here, a lot of pressure coming onto this Ramatra, able to kite back and live as they're cutting his backside, trying to just deflect the pressure from this Genji Tracer on the off angle, as well as try on a far angle as well, putting down a lot of poke pressure. The point is touched, but extremely low from the Genji, forced to get out. Swifters is gone here. Eternal Fury with a leg up, another pick as well. Zevers trades out, but it's heavily in favor of Eternal Fury.
Yeah, RMM falling low. Let's get that wave out onto Shinji, who is on the point. Try is still around. Tidal Blast out onto, I believe that was Asdo that it got thrown onto. Doesn't find that much value. Grind, Kitsune rush out into Grind, and Tidal Blast goes on to Shinji. Null will be knocked down by that. Doesn't die, does get this Rampage off onto RMM and Ronin. Ronin is pulling Deadeye right now. Does get Suzu by Grind to save him. But the pull doesn't come in, but he can't pull the ult in time to kill Koi. Koi finds two, Asdo finds a different on the Swifters, Try finds a different on the RMM, and Eternal Fury are gonna get this to 99%, but Joey Esports finally find the flip, but it did cost them 3 ultimates.
Yeah, it costed Eternal Fury quite a bit as well, double support ult. I think Joey Esports might be set up better here with that Kitsune Rush and Blade combo. Could potentially allow them to build towards a late Junker Queen ult in the next fight. But we'll see how it goes. Eternal Fury has a Ramatra ultimate to try and deflect or put some counter pressure on when that happens. As Noah's here, standing guard at the doorway. Eternal Fury looking to walk with the slow. And the off-angle pressure from Joey Esports just causing a little bit of problems here for Eternal. Ramatra ult popped out, and Ronin finds the opening pick onto Asdo. Swifters is down low as well. Kitsune Rush popped, but no Blade as well. This Blade is going to be uncontested when it pops out here.
No, finds the pick onto Ronin there. Swifters finds another one on the grind. Swifters finds another one to Shinji. Eternal Fury and the Chaos did manage to flip the point, so it is in overtime. They have to get that out. RMM has to turn tail and get the heck out of here. But if you're Eternal Fury, I don't think it's gonna have a touch because there's no speed in their comp. Like their only touch had to be Zeverus, and he's just coming back off the spawn. Tries another Tidal Blast up, so Zeverus is going to contest and is probably going to get hit by this ultimate. And the ult, and Shinji unable to touch. Ult does come out from Try. I'm not sure who it hit, but I think it actually went on the Swifters. The Swifters finds two. Asdo finds another. Try cleans up on the Shinji, and Joy Esports. Though it was a little shaky at the start, they do manage to flip it and get that flashpoint from 99 from 0 to 100. And now Eternal Fury, they will have 4 ultimates coming into this fight, but Joey will have. Joey has 2, and they do have this Queen ult, so Brian has to be holding CC for this.
If this pulse bomb can do a lot of pressure onto Null on that tank, gets extremely low and picked by Ronin. No ultimate needed. Double support ults used on top of each other again for Eternal Fury. A little bit of a misplay. I think, in my opinion, fight might have already been won with the tank going down early, but secures the point cap, and you can't argue with that.
So here's the point cap, but I don't think you needed that Tidal Blast from RMM. But it does charge pretty fast, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But Joey does have 3 ultimates coming in here, and Eternal Fury has their Deadeye and has their Pulse Bomb. But Shinji is building to this Annihilation. Pulse Bomb out from Asdo, doesn't find anything. Swifters goes in, gets hit by the flashbang in the wave.
Big ultimate here from Null, catches the tank, but Shinji finds the pick on the exit as well. Does end up going down. Advantage is for Joey Esports, but Zeverus is looking to equalize that, and Ronin finds the next one. No supports online for Joey Esports. It's looking like this could be a full 100-0 on the second point here. Null finds 2 out of nowhere.
Null finds 2, both headshots on the grind and Ronin. And now it's just RMM and Zeverus. RMM does find the pick on the Null. Asdo does eventually fall him. And now it's Swifters and Asdo up against Zeverus. Asdo does find that pick onto Zeverus, and now Shinji decides to think better of it and just turns to get back to the rest of his team. But Joey, this is like almost a direct. This is basically almost a complete like mirror of what happened on the last point. Is now Joey they're going to have Tidal Blast. They're going to have Kitsune. They have Kitsune Rush, and they have this Blade. And Eternal Fury, yes, they deal the Deadeye and they deal the Annihilation, but I don't think. But those 2 ultimates are kind of hit or miss.
We'll see what they're able to find here. Ronin gets the early pick on Asdo. That's the start you need here for Eternal Fury, but Shinji is not cared, and he goes down. Swifters with the Blade, allowing that pick to come through, and finds Ronin on top of it. That's another fight win here. Had to use 2 ultimates, but you are building up to that Null Rampage, and you have a Wu Yang ult on top as well. This is an exact copy of that first point here. As Eternal Fury has way more ults though going into this last fight. They just need to make sure that they don't get picked early.
They can't get picked early, and they have to watch out for the Tidal Blast from Try. As Kitsune Rush out here from Grind, that should surge the rest of the Eternal Fury forward. Stick onto Null, gets saved by the Tidal Blast. I think Tidal Blast out. I don't know who exactly was on here, but Try goes to 1 HP. Asdo and Swifters come by for 3 picks. Swifters finds another one on the Grind. Try will find the last one of Zeverus, and that's another point that basically happened on first point. Eternal Fury get to 99, but then they can never actually get back control of the point, and now Joey go up to the map point already here, and Eternal Fury kind of stuck in a rough location here as Joey recognizes that and are playing to force him back, but now they think better of it and to go for the point. Try does drop a little bit low here and does actually get taken out by the solo Shinji, but Shinji gets traded out himself by Swifters, and now that's not great. RMM commits the Tidal Blast on himself, does knock down Koi. Ronin will follow up on that pick. Asdo taken extremely low, will get dropped by Ronin as well, as that ult from RMM was questionable, but it does pay off as it does help Ronin take out the tank to help make up for the trade on Shinji.
Very, very weird fight there with the early trade onto the tank, and then that equalized with that Wu Yang ultimate shows how powerful it can be. Then again, you can also mess it up very easily as well. Look for this ultimate here from Null as an opening. Swifters with the blade on top. He's been good for it every time. We'll see if that happens once again here as he's just battling the Tracer in the back line right now.
Yeah, there's the Rampage out from Null. Null hits Ronin, and Ronin was channeling Deadeye and falls down, and now RMM and Grind were looking really rich for where they both RMM goes down, find Zev, and the rest of Eternal Fury will fall. So Joey Esports do get the flip a little bit earlier than the last 2 points, and now they're sitting on four ultimates. Eternal Fury, they only have 2 coming in here. Now Shinji finally giving in, and we'll play Orisa.
Joey Esports has been able to get much more consistent value with their ultimates. These fights that they win, they're only investing 1 or 2. You feel like Eternal Fury has to invest 3 or even 4 to try and get a fight win. Whereas for Joey Esports, just the value with the ultimate is constant as they have another 4 here, looking to maybe close out the map if it goes long here. Asdo finds 2. Shinji with a trade on the Wu Yang, but Cry still has that ultimate available if it's needed. Extremely low. Maybe it's possible for the Tracer to clean up some picks here, but it's looking like it's difficult, especially since Cry popped that ultimate now.
Cry pops it. Zevris will find Asdo, and Zev is the only one alive here around him. He has to be the touch. Knife, Null manages to hit a knife onto him, and Joey still have this double DPS online. Ronin goes over to the Reaper now. Zevris will trigger the overtime, so Eternal Fury not always do that. Ronin off to the side. Wraithform forced out. Blade out from Swifters. We'll find RMM. Pulse Bomb out from Asdo helps take down Ronin and Shinji. Pulse Bomb out from Zevris doesn't find anything, and that should signal the end for Eternal Fury as Joey Esports coming out and showing a dominant 3-0 victory over Eternal Fury. If Eternal Fury wants to get first place, they better clean stuff up through the season, because that did not look good at all.
It started competitive on that first map, Lijiang Tower, and it slowly got away from Eternal Fury, getting more and more of a gap between the 2 teams. And we really saw it with Null on the tank here on that last map, Asdo as well on the Cassidy, doing amazing work to find picks onto the Tracer. Really amazing job from Joey Esports here. First win for the intermediate tier on stream. Congratulations, Joey Esports, for getting that, as they break the eternal week streak of matches. No win for Eternal in match 2 of the week, but maybe they've got a third chance in the upper tier in that Thursday match tomorrow.
Yeah, so I honestly think Eternal Fury, I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was. It was close on some maps, like on the first 2 points of both points on Lijiang were close. The defense hold from Eternal Fury was solid on Dorado. Both the first 2 points on New Junk City were pretty solid, but at the end, Eternal Fury, they just have to clean up their ult economy, their team play, like they had to just have hero plays to flip points, it looked like. And that can only take you so far. They have to clean up their team play and their ult economy and everything like that. But Joey looks pretty solid on this Wu Yang look here.
Yeah, and Wu Yang looking very powerful here in this matchup. A lot of Wu Yang played for Joey Esports. It was a very clear point of differential, but our player of the match that we have decided on is going to be Asdo.
Asdo, the return. The king has returned. Asdo making his return to the scene and taking match MVP to start off the series strong with a 3-0 victory. Is that he looks really strong on the Cassidy, the Sojourn, even the Tracer. Kind of going toe to toe with Ronin and Zev on both heroes, but the entirety of Joey played really well. The other person I was going to say would be player of the match was going to be Try, just because he picked up Wu Yang extremely fast, and that was like a big reason that Joey looks super strong is their Wu Yang look and unfortunately for Eternal Fury, they couldn't find an answer in time.
Yeah, I think the Wu Yang pressure is a big part of the equation here, but you also need that kind of clean, consistent shots from that hit scan, from the Soj, the Kaz, to kind of secure the picks, right? The Wu Yang pressure, it does a lot. It gets people low pretty quick, but you need something consistent to even off and get those picks at the end, which is kind of what we saw in this match. And it's looking really good here for Joe Esports if they want to push it all the way to the finals. You know, very possible. Third time's the charm for Null, maybe. As we'll see.
I feel like, I hate to say it's about him. He's my friend. He's really chill to be around and everything, but I feel like Null just has the Philadelphia Fusion effect.
You can't say that yet. You can't say that yet.
If he places second again, I'm just gonna say that that's what he has, because like this is your season. You should take it. Like, there are other teams I know that are in the division that are pretty strong on paper themselves. Like Time Loss comes to mind immediately. And there's a couple others that I can't remember their names, but they have pretty notable players. But with that being said, we do have one more match this week tomorrow, and the ending of Eternal Week. It will be the advanced tier, and it will be Eternal Rift taking on Reckless Gamma. So that will close out Eternal Week, and then hopefully next week we won't have to deal with another Eternal Week.
It's a little bit pointed, but yes.
Not saying that Eternal Week has been bad. It just has had the most like pauses, I think, in a 2-day span.
Yeah, no, this did not start well on that Monday. Had a few today, but not too many. So yeah, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Won't be me or Denji, but you will get taken care of by another set of amazing casters here for SPCS. So that'll be us. That'll be it for all of us tonight. Thank you to Prod Person and Layla and Sariff for running the production on short notice. Very much appreciated. And we'll see you guys around on Thursday.